The past few years since UEFN was created, there has been a rise in a lot of disdain in the community over what the ecosystem of Fortnite Creative has become. More recently, a lot of small and big creators have voiced their opinions to Epic on platforms like Twitter and stuff like that. And here I am, digging up my old ways, going back to giving Epic some criticism. I've been sort of brewing the past few months with a lot of thoughts and feelings about the ecosystem and how Epic treats their creators, leading to a lot of long-time creators to quit or leave the ecosystem full time, about how Epic runs Discover into the ground, and about how Epic rewards low effort slop in the ecosystem, which is completely ruining Fortnite creators' perception outside the community. Just to let you know, I've been creating in Fortnite for the past 7 years, and from then until now, Fortnite Creative and UEFN has had and still do have incredible potential to create experiences that actually provide value to both Fortnite creators and Fortnite itself. But there's a paradox. Fortnite Creative being called creative is a bit ironic, because let's be honest, the creativity is pretty much gone. Sucked out of it. How or why, you might be wondering? Well, that's why I made this video. Let's get into it. I'm going to just describe some of the problems and then also suggest ways to fix each one. Let's start off with everyone's favorite. You know him, you love him. Discover is where maps either succeed or die. Usually 99 out of 100 times they die. Quality maps struggle while exploitative maps dominate, making it impossible for creators to grow organically. To give Epic some credit, they are improving the systems, like adding the ability to favorite creators, but still there are some rampant problems. Discover is the forefront of creative. It represents what the community makes and what people outside of Fortnite Creative see when they look at it from the outside. Let me ask you this. Do you mostly see amazing experiences that talented creators have built, or do you see copy and pasted brain rot? I'm sure you can guess which one. It's definitely not all the experiences we thought we were going to get or be able to make and play when UEFN first came out. Discover, in my opinion, lacks personalization, so what you'd usually see is whatever is popular at the time. The problem with this is whatever is popular is whatever Discover decides to be popular. That is the truth. And the usual audience that Fortnite Discover gets are those who play the slop that Discover serves up. And anything else usually dies off in the new and updated tab because they just don't conform to anything. Now that raises the question, why? If these maps are so bad and the other ones are so good, why are thousands of people playing the bad ones while barely anyone plays the good ones? Now, it's not that these maps are good or bad, it's not really that simple. Discover has cultivated a subset of the Fortnite community, about 40%, who only play Fortnite creative maps. This audience only plays like red versus blues, box fights, you know, the practice maps. The stuff you usually see all the time. Because remember, looking at Discover, you only see slop. The millions of other players who probably would want to play something good never see anything good because this isn't there. This leads to the audience that those failing modes are catered to leaving the ecosystem and not playing them because simply they cannot find them or aren't willing to dig through all the slop because in their mind it's probably not worth it. And we know high quality games can work in UGC industries. Let's look at Roblox. Fortnite's lacking discovery systems are what limit creators. Because of this, to actually get players into your maps, you are forced to not be creative in Fortnite Creative and instead stick to whatever is already popular. This leads to more slop, copy and paste, low effort maps flooding the ecosystem. These maps then get played more, snowballing into a bigger issue that completely kills any creators who are actually trying to be different. It promotes creators to copy and paste ideas over and over again and mimic anything that's popular, as that's really the only way to be consistently successful. Another thing is the collections Epic added recently, which are supposed to help small creators get niche audiences, but they're barely moderated and usually contain maps that have nothing to do with the tab they're in. Like, look at this. This is supposed to be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles tab. Look at it. Only one of those islands are actually Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a horrible experience for honest creators, especially the small ones, those who spend thousands of hours making maps only for their map to get 5 players in the new and updated tab for 20 minutes and then never get another chance to ever succeed ever again. And I have a fix for it, but for now, let's continue with the other issues because there are a lot. Another issue is the lack of communication between Epic and creators. Fortnite Creative used to be a pretty tight-knit community, and creators and Epic were also pretty close, but as time has gone on, it feels like everything is a lot less friendly and a lot more competitive. Epic's moderation is also extremely bad. For some reason, you can't put an arrow on your thumbnail, but apparently IP infringement, rule-breaking content, and false copyright strikes aren't a problem at all. Well, not really a problem until you tell Epic about it, who maybe might do something about it, who knows? The moderation when your map gets denied from Epic's EpicPix is also completely annoying. Kiwi, an OG Fortnite creator who's been making maps in Fortnite for years, quit recently because Epic told him to make a more polished and detailed map to stand out, while, you know, Prime Red versus Blue gets into the front spot in EpicPix. It's extremely anti-creator and just makes it seem like Epic is gaslighting you into thinking you're the problem, when it's the ecosystem itself that is. And this really ain't it, Epic, I gotta be real here. Let's be frank, Fortnite creators are being paid way too much for the amount of effort that goes into most maps in Discover. $352 million was paid out to creators last year. Now, some of that money could have been used to actually improve the ecosystem and support creators trying to make something different, and not being paid out to the ones who spam thousands of maps, abuse copyright and IP, use AI to literally make their maps, and also play their maps. Yes, and people are now botting maps to get plays. I know, it's pretty crazy. Epic, it would be very nice to do your job and stop this from happening. The big monetary incentives of making maps in Fortnite has really made everybody make compromises. Look at the big creators out there. CypherPK was about to make their own battle royale, but with how the ecosystem is and how UEFN is right now, that just didn't come into tuition. Now Cypher, no offense to him, makes dime a dozen maps following trends of Discover. Look at other creators like Mustard Plays. He's gone from teaching people creative and showing off maps to creating his own company, Jogo. All props to him. And Jogo makes really cool stuff, but what they make is limited by Discover, which leads to them having to conform to things like making Red vs Blues and the Pit. It's extremely sad to see these massive creators with so much potential and manpower behind what they do being forced to fit into a mold that Discover outlines for them. Another thing too is that these big creators are the example of what you want to make. Of course, there is some really good artwork and stuff that Jogo does with their like, you know, anime thing. That's pretty cool. I'm not saying what they make is bad. I'm just saying that it's limited by things you have to conform to. It's just kind of sad, really. Now, one of the big reasons why I make tutorials on YouTube is lowering the barrier of entry to making cool and unique stuff, because I feel like a lot of people in the community have lost the aspect of creative in Fortnite Creative due to UEFN/verse being is a lot more complex than 1.0, leading to a lot of people feel like they can't get into it. 2 being the state of the ecosystem and the focus on monetary gain, and 3 being the copy and paste slot does better. So what's the point of much time into making something cool? I understand a lot of people only create for money, and that's of course fine. If you make slot maps for that, you're doing things the way you need to do to be successful. So I'm not blaming you for any of this. But lowering the barrier of entry is a big step to introducing more innovative stuff into the ecosystem that'll attract the players of Fortnite who like that, and also the people who have never played Fortnite who like it too. We're too set in stone as a community to serving the 40% of the existing player base of Fortnite, and we forget about everyone else. And when everyone else looks into the game, they only see the part that doesn't interest them. It's why I make tutorials, map showcases, commentary videos, and also make islands myself that don't fit the status quo, because I want to break the mold and change it. Not just wait for magical things to happen, because it's not going to happen. And hopefully inspire a lot of you and help a lot of others to do the same. 0 players or not. Eventually there will be players for it. We just need to break the ice, so to speak. And Epic also needs to do their jobs as well and make the ecosystem better for both creators and players who want to see something other than Red vs Blue box fights, multi-map maps, etc. But as much as I would want people to follow in my stead and do this, not every creator can do this. The ecosystem is simply not sustainable for creators who want to change it and make it better. That's the paradox. You can't be creative in Fortnite Creative. But this is probably how you can fix it. So listen up, Epic. For Discover, I personally think they should go all in on personal recommendations. I think instead of spamming maps at the player, they should do it like how YouTube works on the homepage. 8 to 12 maps, less clutter overall, and games are presented bigger instead of being thrown into a pile that overwhelms whoever is trying to find something fun to play. Maybe then, people who don't play creative can find maps they will want to play, and also fix collections and make them actually promote the map that fits the themes. To fix the lack of communication, Epic can do, who would have guessed it, communicate with creators more, and not ghost them behind the vague emails that barely describe anything. Maybe even a loyalty system for creators. Creators who prove themselves get higher priority in the ecosystem or other benefits, and also improve the moderation feedback to let creators know what they did wrong better. As for the moderation, a 3-strike system, and you're out. First strike, a week ban, second, a month, and third, permanently ban. Enforce copyright IP abuse, pretty please, and maybe even get creators who have high loyalty to moderate discovery on maps, with Epic having the final say in what gets banned or not. So there isn't any room for people to abuse the system. For the monetization side of things, lower the payouts for people who don't deserve it, and rebalance the ecosystem to where smaller creators are still at least getting paid something so they can continue in the ecosystem, and devote some of that cash into hiring some moderators or investing in newer systems that make Discover better for players and creators. Maybe hopefully all these changes will shift Fortnite Creative back into a positive sense where people are excited to make cool things and are rewarded for it like it was back in the day. If that's the case, the paradox is then broken and Fortnite Creative becomes Fortnite Creative again. But none of this is going to happen if you who want this to happen don't get your voice heard. We as a community can make this a better place for everyone, but only if we actually let Epic know that this is how it should not be. But just as an update to this video while I'm editing it, there's actually some good news. Epic have heard our concerns and are holding a live stream on the 10th of March at 7 PM ET. So if there's any time to have your voices heard, it would be at this live stream. So I do appreciate Epic listening. I'll make another video if there's anything important they say on the live stream, or is this going to be some corpo talk? I don't know, we'll see. I know this is a bit of a touchy subject right now, which is why I want to make a video about it. I know some of these fixes I said in the video, they're not perfect, and I know there's probably going to be some issues maybe with a few of them. Again, there's no perfect solution, but these are some of my suggestions. So yeah, I just want to get that out there. That's it from me. Let me know what you all think. So yeah, remember to like, subscribe, use my code, blah blah blah, you know the deal. Thank you to all the members of the channel, and watch all these videos for more of my content.